Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of FarmTown here in Cities Skylines 2, where last episode we started powering the town with our very own wind farm. Now this is perfectly set up to be able to extend it and expand it really easy, and guess what guys, it produces quite a bit of power, believe it or not. 45 megawatts are being produced right now by 5 wind turbines, fully maxed out obviously, each one have got their full upgrades on. And the town's only consuming 22, so this should see us for quite a while before we do need to extend and add on to it. But we also started to do some more farm expansions as well. Now as the little town right now starts to get a little bit bigger and bigger, we are starting to get to the point where we're thinking about building more kind of smaller towns here, there and everywhere dotted around on the map. And as time goes on, we will have more towns built around. But first, what I want to implement and what I want to do is build a couple of satellite villages. I'm calling them satellite villages because we're going to build small little areas, and they're not going to be huge. They're going to be really small, and they're going to pretty much provide residents, workers, kind of, you know, with smaller commutes to the farm areas around. And these little villages are going to be dotted around the edges of our main town like little mini satellites. And I want to build at least one here, one there, and one there to begin with. So 3 in total. Some will be bigger than the others, but you know, in reality they're going to be quite small. So this is going to be quite exciting, and then it's going to pretty much gear us up to building public transport to kind of connecting all of them all up. Now we will have slightly larger towns. I don't think we'll have any that will rival the current town we've got dotted around here, there and everywhere, which would be quite exciting as we kind of build more communities. And I need you guys' help to give me some pretty sweet names for these little satellite villages. So if you are enjoying this series so far boys, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when more episodes do come out. But what I'm going to do is I kind of built this road. I've got currently this road leading down which Skadoodles out, and the reason we have this is it's going to be treated as a main route that will go through the 3 individual satellite towns and kind of connect back up. Now we're going to have this come down all the way Skadoodling down, which will then kind of bring itself back in. I don't know whether it will bring itself into there or maybe extend over this way leading to somewhere else, possibly, we'll see. But I want these big major roads that come through to connect to it, so we're going to have to slightly adjust the farms around this area to lead over there. But at the same time, I'm going to slightly delete what we've currently got in because I want to redo this whole area. I want to redo it and set it up a little bit better because at the minute how it currently ends is a little bit awkward. So first things first, then we're going to rejig this little water tower and we're going to upgrade this road. There we go, so it leads out beautifully. And I need to apply the same logic to all of these other farms as well. So if I delete you, and then push you back to there, is that enough to say we're good to go? No. I was pretty close, but not so close that it was going to work. Let me just do this one, move it over, and then move it over as well. And then let me upgrade this road then. So got to get it on the same level, because this is the main major route from the farming area in and out into the main bit of town. So it's the main route they use. I want to kind of add a little bit more of a higher speed capacity on it. So that would do us justice. That should sort us all out. And let me get this now all connected up. So that's all good to go. Bring this one down. A little bit easier to do it this way than any of the other ways. Bam, bam, ba, bam, bam, bam. Right, there we go. Sweet. So that will lead down, but I'll sort out how it connects a little bit later on. Now, this one is actually coming from this side. So if I just now slightly adjust this. Right, moving you down. It's easier, I've noticed now, just to completely move it out of the way and redo it. That way we have no issues. The water tower stays there anyway. We're all good, boys. We're all good. Connecting you now all up. No issues, boys, no issues. So the major roads now all flow coming all the way down. So what I want to do is not really build a bendy windy road, but we discovered last episode when you do build some type of a windy road, your farm designs look a little bit more different and unique, and they're not so gritty to like what we have currently set up over here. And it throws in a few little different stuff that you can pretty much do. So what we'll do here, we'll bring this out so far. And I'll also bring this out so far as well. And then we'll start to kind of come off it in different directions and bends and twists and turns. So coming off this then, what we'll do, we'll turn it ever so slightly. We'll run it a bit straight. And then we'll look towards setting up a glorious bend again. So we got a 168 by a 168, which should lead directly into here. No problemos. So not really much, but you kind of turn all the farm and stuff into it, which really works out. So in this area, we'll come directly off this with that road there, which will then hopefully bend with a slight little turn directly in. And then a nice little farm will fill up that gap, and it kind of gets away from the monogamy of the gridded effect. And it's kind of what I want to do here as well, and extend all of this. Now, how far does the radius go for this potential? Quite some distance. So I'm going to delete this road, and this is where we start to get the different like areas all set up and running. And I'll bring this so far down as a little connection there for a smaller-esque farm. And then that would snap about there. So if I run this to here and then bend that ever so slightly and run this in. Now, granted, I'm not going to be able to get the farm to have the full extension all the way down. No, 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 no. But if I bring it to about there and bring this to about there, then I can fit in a smaller one around here. To be honest with you, I don't know why we just don't get this to fully connect in and I build a complete and utter farm coming off all of this. So if I ran that all the way up to there, and then where does this decide it wants to bend and turn in? So not by much. I reckon we can work with that. And hopefully I can fit a whole farm in that little area there. But now you see how it's all now slightly staggered? It looks 10 times better, doesn't it, when you slightly stagger stuff like that? It really, really does. It really does. So I feel like I might go around readjusting some of that stuff as time goes on. But that's how it's going to work. So we've got this area kind of set up and we understand where it's all going to run. We then just need to do the same thing over here. Now, we're going to figure out a spot for where we want a road connection. I have no more map tiles to kind of work with. But let's just say we're going to at some point maybe come off somewhere around here as a connection. The same way in which we kind of have a little bit of a connection over there. Now, this is going to run down, but how we get it to connect is going to be quite interesting in many ways. So we have this which is going to snap in, but I feel like we kind of want to bend around. So I feel like this road here is going to bend a little bit in slightly, only because the terrain of the contours, as you can now see, comes down this way. So if I run slightly straight there, and then if we're picking a spot, let's say just this way, where does the bend want to take place? So something like that. So we come away from it, and then this will come down and then eventually sprawl up to go into that direction. So bringing this again in somewhat of a straight-ish line. And then we'll kind of get it to sprawl up that way. And then off it goes, which will eventually connect into a connection there. And then all these farms will sprawl to the end. Oh, it's exciting. It's very exciting. So I reckon what I do here then is if I come off this and then we slightly stagger the road. A little bit different to what we've been doing. But if I can slightly stagger that into a connection there. And we can do that with the complex curve. So we come so far down, you bend up there, and then you kind of connect it in. There we go. So you just get a little bit of different feel, different run going on. And it looks really, really nice. So now we've got this road that's going to sprawl around the edge. And then obviously we will continue to do expansions coming off this way. But it's mainly to kind of now be the main route that tears through a couple of these little towns. So let's start with these towns, and I think we'll start with one about here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the alleyway style, because it's going to be like these little small farming villages. It's a village, basically, is what it is. It is a village, and I don't want to connect too much to it and have too much going on. So I'm going to treat that there as the main crossroad of the little town, where we'll have a little bit of shopping going on. And we set that up there. A little bit of shopping going on there. I'm going to bring out a connection here and run this further down. And then we're going to sprawl slightly off all of this for our little connections. And like I said, there's not going to be much going on in this area. Not much at all. And then we'll run this to about there. Might as well run that all the way through, right? Run that to about there, to there. Just sprawl it all off. Now, this is probably going to be one of the larger ones out of the 3 that we do build. And that's pretty much all it's going to be. The road just drives through this tiny little village. Which will, you know, these roads here will eventually sprawl off into dirt roads. Which is probably what I should do here. Eventually it sprawls off into little dirt roads leading to other connections of where the farming area currently is. And within it, we'll start by placing that little bit of commercial. So this will be the commercial area for it. And I'll only probably build up the commercial area with the zoning like that. And then the rest of it will be my own type of zoning. So I can do a 3x3, I can do a 2x3, a 2x2, or 1x3. Like that, and we just kind of naturally build up the area like this. You know, nothing too crazy. I don't know if that's going to actually work now, is it? Okay, we'll come off that and go a little bit bigger there. We'll do a little one there. No? Well, what did I get there? Oh, that didn't actually work when you look at it. Fine, I won't throw those small ones in. You can't get the smaller ones in them. Or how we want them to get them in anyway. Just like that. So now we've got control of how we build these little communities. These little satellite villages. That's the term I'm using, these little satellite villages. Is that big enough to do something? Yes. So now you just have this little area that just is a slight little miniature sprawl of what's going on. I really like this. I really do like this as well. Now, I don't know whether I'll have any little bit of factories nearby. I feel like it's something that would have like a little factory or two nearby. Mainly they'll be on the main drag of the road. So is that enough to build? Or is that enough to build? That's enough to build one there. And if I did a little bit of a space and did like a 3x3. I mean, I don't really have any industry demand right now. But it's just mini village where you got a couple like garages and warehouses and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. But you guys, I need you guys' help right now to give me some like little sweet name suggestions we can call these little villages in the comment section down below. I'll build the 3 of them and we'll go through each one of them and what we can pretty much call them. So bam, bam, bam. And then we'll just kind of end this area to there. So we'll let it build up and do what it's got to pretty much do, but we'll give it a nice little region right now. So a district creation tool we'll quickly throw in. Going around it. I might just slightly rejig this as well. So for now, we'll keep it like that. And then we need a name for that first little village. So let's call this number 1. So obviously when I've built them all, give me some name suggestions, but like in the comment section do like 1 dash then the name, then underneath do 2 dash and the name, because we're building 3 little villages all together. So that's probably going to be the biggest one out of all of them. And then we're going to build a smaller one over here as well. Now this one, I think I'm going to build it as a dirt road town. I'm going to build it as a little bit of a dirt road town. So I'm going to bring that as a little road out. We'll kind of also get a little road that connects off here. In like that. So it's already a little bit skew if the road is, because the grid doesn't quite align correctly. But if I run that down to there. And I'm going to treat this little village as if it's a road off the area. Like the village and little kind of townish area is not on the main road. The main road doesn't go through it. There's a little road that comes off it to access this little area. And like everything else, it just slightly is a little bit of a mini sprawl. So where this road over here goes through the town, this one is just off the bypass. So it's almost like how this one originally started. This one didn't quite catch on. You know what I mean? It's got that kind of style going on. So we'll start with a little bit of commercial anyway. There's a nice little strip there we can kind of build. We'll do a 3x3 there. We'll do a slightly wider one there. And we'll do a couple ones just there. But not, again, too much going on. We'll do some brigger. That's a new word, isn't it? A brigger. New and bigger. Brigger. That didn't even make any sense. Zoning going on right now. So bam, bam, bam. We'll do a 3x3 there, 3x2, 2x2, just sprawling down again. And these are like the perfect towns to build the water towers in. And then we'll leave that to that as well. So we'll put a district creation tool around this, so nothing too crazy. We have a smaller little town just there. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? So how's this town looking already? It's starting to build up right now. A few little houses dotted around. We'll have to plant some trees and stuff around it as well. But it just adds to it right now. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? It does look pretty good. So we've got this one which is just off the beaten track. And I feel like this one will be more inside of the farming-esque area. So they do three different things. You have this one that goes, the road tears through. This one where it's just off. And this one's kind of lost within it. You have to go down country road to get to the small town. So three different kind of styles, kind of locations for the area. So if I bring this across there, we're going to create our little crossroad first. So we'll treat that there as our little crossroad. And then we'll set up a few little kind of runs here and there. There we go. And we'll try and build this as, again, like a small little community-esque style. Where roads sprawl out, roads end, there's U-turns, there's dead ends. There's everything going on in this town, boys. Everything going on. But that's pretty much it. There's not really much more you want to add to it. Now, obviously, as time goes on, we'll build around it, and the farms will grow, and the farms will eventually incorporate themselves to the towns. More roads will be connected. There'll be more connections to the main road. As time goes on, it will slowly get more and more incorporated. So, you know, it will look pretty good. So we'll do some commercial. So we make this our little bit of a shopping district area. And then coming off it, we do all our little bits of residential. Getting all this set up. So we do two there. So some area, you know, we want it to be not too built up, but we want it to look pretty nice at the same time. So we will be a little bit flamboyant in some areas not so much. And just get it all set up. There we go. And then just kind of slightly come a little bit out. So it sprawls a little bit more as well. Now, I didn't do any industry in some of these areas, so we'll kind of drop the odd one or two down. I don't think it will work too much in that area. Maybe over here you could maybe get some factories on the main road, but I think you know what, I'm not going to. I've got some there because that is the larger of the three. Well, I say it's the larger of the three towns. We'll find out when all the residents have moved in which one is going to be the larger one. But district creation tool, we'll go slightly up a little bit further. And there we go. Oh, there we go. So yeah, number 1, number 2, number 3. Give me some name suggestions in the comment section down below. But until then, let's see what we can do in terms of sprawling some more road to build up some more farming land. So we'll do road connections first coming off all of this. Which is first the better way to get this all up and running. And we'll look towards doing then, let's say, one here. So we'll first create our connections to the road before we build all the farms. So that all runs into there. I can see us having something coming off just this way. So if I build to there, if I have that road to there, and let's see if I can do like this kind of type of complex curve for the wiggle. Because on the wiggle, we could have stuff coming out now, which is quite exciting. So that bends this way to run that all the way down. Look at that. Now we're starting to get different stuff appearing for us. This is looking really good. So we're going to need a connection down here. So if I brought this to about there, I could almost allow it to run and turn into this way. And to be one of the roads that kind of turn off and lead out. And we get some really nice designed farms around it. Now I want to slightly change some of this. So where this here is like that. I want to try and get away from the boring grid to begin with, where it's all aligned perfectly. And then we have some slight staggers on the go. I'll then lead this here. Leading down this way. Now it is such a big move to do like that. But again, it's all about the different vibe we can have going on. It's pretty nice, isn't it? Now if I delete this one and delete that farm, that is a major route cutting through, but I'm going to literally put my neck on the line right now and then stagger this way. And if there's any issues, we'll bring that road slightly out to place a farm down. I should have checked what farm it was before I deleted it. But it's about trying to get away from the grid. That's literally all it's about, is getting away from the grid style that we've currently got on the go. And just changing things up slightly. So that could be moved down now. There we go, boys. Adding details here, there, and everywhere. Nice. So, do we have a deficit anywhere? Let me have a little bit of fast forward. And production-wise, whatever the biggest deficit is, and none of it is a deficit, but okay, whatever the least surplus is, which it looks like it's going to be vegetable, I'll put the vegetable one here. Right, the one I just deleted, I will replace. You go here. And then we run this all the way around. All the way around. All the way around. All the way around. Starting to look a lot better. Starting to look a lot better. So, from the get-go then, we've got 48 residents in this one. 33 in this one. And 27 in that one. So, it's not huge amounts of people. This is why they're little mini satellite villages. This is why they're little mini satellite villages right now. Not a lot of people live here. Not a lot really goes on. There's a couple of factories which produce textiles, producing textiles, and guess what? Also producing textiles. So that's upping our output in the textiles industry in that kind of area. And we can keep adding more and more stuff in, which is pretty sweet. It's quite exciting, if anything, boys. It's quite exciting. So I'm not sure if I would want to think about running a little bit of a creek through this area. Only a little bit of a small one. It wouldn't really go anywhere or do much, but just to kind of give it the feel as if like the farms are being fed by this natural spring that kind of tears through the area. I feel like that could be a good little thing to do. Now, there's not a fat lot I can do about this road leading up. But is there anything I can do to kind of get some more connections? Now, I'll bring this down and get you fully connected in here. There we go. But in terms of this bend right now, it is quite a decent bend. So I think I'll wait until I've unlocked all of this before I can fully extend more onto it. But it's quite exciting, isn't it? 2 different variations of little villages. One on the main stretch, one just off it, as almost like it was a miniature version of this when this was back in the day. And that completely in the central area. Now, something I haven't done is given this area its district. So we'll go to there. Actually, we'll start here. We'll start here. Because this is FarmTown. The original town at the moment. So we'll just run it to there. So this is the one we're definitely going to call FarmTown. Farm. I can't even spell right. Town. There we go. It took me like 20 years to get that right. FarmTown, baby. 7,000 residents. Nice. So we have FarmTown. And then obviously we need names for these little villages. Not quite sure what I'm going to call the industrial area, but we'll come back to that at some point in the future. Industry is now starting to increase. They got the need for offices, don't they? They really do have the need for offices right now. But we'll kind of hold out on that. But those little mini villages are going to play a vital part. We'll kind of add more around as time goes on. And then we'll have larger towns dotted around in the future. Not any as big as FarmTown, but some will come close. Maybe, who knows? But this will be the biggest one. This is the main one, boys. The main route right now. So next episode then, we'll fill in the gaps a little bit more, getting some more farms down, and we'll take a look at setting up some public transport. Just a nice, simple, easy way to get people moving around the area. Now we have these little mini satellite villages all up and running. Hope you enjoyed this, boys. If you did, smash that like button down below, and until next time, I see you all soon. So, goodbye.